Step 9. Unwanted feelings and patterns. Let's begin with the latter for a second. Over time, you will discover your own patterns. We all have some things that we repeat. We all have some instances that we act upon that we repeat, and we sometimes wonder why we do that. Using this chart, we start to get insight into how we're feeling now, and sometimes we feel certain feelings more of the time with a lot of our situations. And because with this chart, we debunk it and sometimes change that feeling, that we actually realize we're feeling sad most of the time, not angry. We see and ask ourselves, what is that sad about? And that pattern sometimes gives us greater insight into some of the bigger issues around not admitting, perhaps, certain feelings to ourselves. Perhaps feeling sad is a sign of weakness to you. You don't want to feel sad. You don't want to show to others that you feel sad. And thus you don't. But by going through this and the process, and when you bring out your natural goodness, if there's something to do or say, when you're feeling sad, you might actually say, I feel sad, and is there something to do or say? And yes, there is, and can I do that? And maybe I will. And we begin to resolve it. And it doesn't become so scary. So the patterns over time are the most enlightening aspects that we start to understand about ourselves, and that affects our authenticity, because we can become truer to ourselves and others with that. Now, unwanted emotions. I did speak to that for a few moments in step 7 or step 8. And I spoke to you about how I did not like revenge. Now for me, revenge really is a bad thing. God is going to strike me down if I feel that way. Well, revenge is a feeling. So let's be clear, these are feelings. We do go through a bit of a process to stop, breathe, define, identify it, repeat a process of, is there a change in how I feel? Bringing out the natural warmth and goodness. The likelihood is you're probably not going to act on revenge, because revenge likely has some core to it. But that unwanted feeling, please keep track of, I don't like feeling revenge. I don't like feeling angry. I might not even like feeling pessimistic. We all know those optimistic people that are optimistic on the surface all the time. And that might actually be a true thing. But sometimes you wonder, don't they ever have a negative emotion? Perhaps they aren't being true to themselves. We can't know that. They would have to do this chart or this exercise. Now for you, however, you know that natural intelligence, and therefore you can admit it. And so if you are feeling bad about feeling negative, that's a good thing to ask yourself. What am I feeling about feeling negative? So unwanted emotions always beg you to ask one more question. What am I feeling about that feeling? Once we debunk how we feel about a feeling or a word, bored. You're never supposed to be bored. You're always supposed to be happy, no matter what is going on in your life. But that's not really being true to yourself. Thus, this is a process of really understanding what bored, what revenge, what negative means to you. And over time, we begin to have a different relationship with that word. Once again, feel free to substitute a few other words in some of the cards if they feel better to you. However, these do cover the vast majority of feelings.